big changes come to the Druid and Paladin in the newest One D&D Playtest.
Outlook, not so good.
The D&D design team has released a new One D&D playtest for the Paladin and Druid classes, with big changes coming to both classes. Now for the Druid, the most significant change is to the core Wild Shape ability, which is now part of a Channel Nature ability that also includes some healing options or the ability to summon animal companions, but really is all about wild shaping. Whereas Druids can currently use beast stat blocks from the monster manual and other sources when they wild shape into creatures, based on different CR limitations depending on what your subclass is, the One D&D playtest proposes a new custom stat block that is solely based off of a player character's stats. Druids have access to 3 different stat blocks: the animal of the land, the animal of the sea, and the animal of the air, with the animal of the land being the default form that a player takes until level 7 when they unlock the aquatic form, and then the aerial form coming along at level 9. Our quick take: we like the scalability of the new wild shape forms and the fact that it no longer limits players to wolves or bears or things like that. If you want to wild shape into a beefy squirrel that eats nuts and kicks butts, you can do that now. However, the wild shape stat block seems a little too fiddly in its present form. For instance, the animal of the land uses a druid's wisdom score for its strength, dexterity, and wisdom score, but the constitution, charisma, and intelligence scores are based off of the druid's respective scores for those abilities. Also, some of the other rules surrounding wild shape needs to be clarified. For instance, do players get to keep their saving throw proficiencies while in wild shaped forms? That's not said in the playtest. And since a druid's hit points remain the same when they wild shape, do they go unconscious when they reach 0 HP in their wild shape form, or do they just revert back to their normal form, which is how wild shape currently works? Also, I feel like some of the fun of the Circle of the Moon Druid, you know, when you pick different stat blocks that have different abilities and different forms, which all of that has been taken away. That just doesn't seem that fun. Sometimes you want to turn into a giant spider to shoot webs, or turn into a giant scorpion to grapple someone, or knock someone over as a giant wolf. As for the Paladin, it has been, well, deliberately nerfed.
Look how they massacred my boy.
No longer can players go Nova with their divine smites. They can only smite once per turn. Players can also no longer smite and cast a spell on the same turn. But, on the plus side, players can now smite with an unarmed attack, and they can smite with ranged weapons as well, which is cool, I guess. The aura of protection has also been changed, so that certain class features adds effects to the aura of protection rather than giving players additional auras, which just kind of syncs up everything. Our hot take on this: well, someone on the D&D design team has played with a paladin who has nuked one too many bosses using a series of divine smites. Honestly, it really sucks that paladins have lost their ability to smite multiple times in a turn, or the ability to stack spell effects like Blinding Smite on top of a typical divine smite. I like some of the syncing that's been made to the aura of protection, and I enjoy that paladins get cantrips now. Yay! However, I think there needs to be some sort of option that lets a paladin dig deep into their faith and smite more than once per turn. Make it a channel divinity ability if necessary to limit its power and its availability, but a paladin's ability to overcome the odds using smite, smite, smite has become a core feature of that class, and I dislike that it was taken away without some sort of significant addition or some added versatility to the class. In other playtest news, Spare the Dying got a big buff because it now grants a dying player 1 HP, which gets them up and moving again instead of simply stabilizing them. Also, rolling a 1 or a 20 on a d20 roll no longer gives players heroic inspiration, which they now call heroic advantage. Anyways, we'll be digging into this new playtest more, but let us know what you think in the comments section, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.